Hello, hello. How are we doing? Yes. All right. We're at our last conversation of the day. So please, let's gather up. Let's come to the stage and show some love for the ladies for this next conversation. For this creator lane, we're taking a deep dive into growing your brand as an influencer or a content creator in the beauty space through effective marketing strategies, partnering with your creator community, and building lucrative brand relationships. Please welcome Abba Asante and our moderator, Sophia Dennis. Give it up.
Hello, 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 everybody.
Hi guys.
I hope you're enjoying your Essence Festival so far. I'm so excited to chat with Abba. Abba's a TikTok content creator who's got 6 million followers
Yeah.
on TikTok and is the beauty girl. She is the beauty destination for everybody on TikTok.
Thank you.
Abba, you've created a wonderful presentation for us.
Yeah.
I will let you kind of talk through
hmm
what you plan on sharing today.
Yeah. So a little bit about me. I started making videos when I was 16, and with like 3 viral videos, I gained about like 3 million followers. And those years of my life were amazing. But ultimately, I ended up taking a break because I was just exhausted and my mental health wasn't the best. And during those 2 or 3 years of my hiatus, I came back to social media and figured out a plan and a strategy to start doing better and hop back into social media. And that's basically what I'm here to talk about today.
Amazing. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
So, I would love to talk about your experience with social media, why you took a pause, and what you think caused you to lose your spark.
Yeah. So I definitely did lose my spark. Growing up in a small town, I didn't really have a lot of people that looked like me. I grew up in Indiana and I didn't have many friends. I was struggling with ADHD and I still have ADHD. So it was really hard for me to find like a creative outlet until I found social media. And yeah, so my spark came back by just pouring into my community and having my community pour back into me. And then after I graduated last year, I came up with a game plan, and then I did everything that it took to get back into the content creation game. And here I am.
Amazing. So, your presentation is titled, I Almost Fumbled 6 Million Followers.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means that I almost fumbled the bag. Like I quit TikTok and Instagram for like 2 years, and then I somehow, some way, found my way back into making content, and I'm now able to have it as my career and also my passion. So, yeah,
So, that sounds, uh, that's amazing.
yeah.
One,
Thank
to
you.
reach 6 million followers, but also to be able to identify, hey, I think I need to take a break. I think I
Yeah.
need to take a pause. But even more than that, to
hmm
be able to come back. That's
Yeah.
almost unheard of on social media. So, how were you able to engineer your comeback?
So I studied business management and marketing in school. So I double majored and I did like 4 internships. My last internship, I was working at Crocs in the marketing department. So while taking a step back from social media, I looked at what was going on the brand side of things, and I started like low key plotting. Like, okay, I'm just gonna take all of this information, everything that I learned, and apply it to my own brand. And it took countless nights of like pitching myself to multiple different companies and brands, and just investing in myself, buying all the makeup products to review, and then I just formulated a plan to come back. Yeah.
That's that's absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
So, before you left, did you have a lot of brand partnerships or was it more so just a posting for fun?
Yeah, when I first started, I had no brand partnerships. I maybe did like maybe 10 back when I was 16, but now after I've started again, like it's a consistent flow of brand deals.
So, how did you land your first major brand partnership?
Ooh, my first brand. So my first brand deal was actually right when I signed with my first manager. It was a Charlotte Tilbury brand deal, and that's been my favorite makeup brand for years. And we met with the rep, and then a few weeks later, she offered me a deal to see my creative process, to see the video that I could make for them, and they loved it. So yeah.
So, this wasn't listed on the question cards,
Mhm.
but I just have to know
Yeah.
when it comes to content creation, it can be kind of hard to stand out.
Yeah.
A lot of people have similar formats, similar voices, similar perspectives. So I'd love to know what it is that you do to make sure that your content stands out, and
Yep.
also what you do to make sure that your brand partnership content stands out.
Yeah, so on my page, our motto is beauty is fun. And I really try to lean into that with everything that I post. And just how I portray myself online is very similar to just how I am in real life. I like to have fun. I feel like not everything has to be perfect. Like I show up ugly online, no makeup. And I just like want to curate a space for my followers to like show them we don't have to have a full beat on all the time. We can show our personalities. We don't need to be boring. We can be out loud and you know, unapologetically yourself. So yeah.
I think that's such an important point because a
Mhm.
lot of times people have this perception that if you are a beauty creator or if you're somebody who is interested in makeup, hair, the beauty industry as a whole, that you expect to always show up in a certain way and that you might not be able to express yourself in the same way that somebody who's not as into that world may be. So, what do you think about using social media as a way to showcase beauty as something far beyond aesthetics?
Yeah. I feel like aesthetics is less than half of beauty. I feel like especially if you want to have an audience or a community that has that are like you, like-minded like you, I think it's just so important to put your best foot forward with your personality. And some girlies aren't like super outgoing and boisterous. Sometimes they're really honed in on the little things and the aesthetics. So it's just finding what you are the best at doing and just zoning in on that and focusing on that. So yeah.
So, if you had to start from zero
Ooh.
tomorrow, what would you do? What would be the steps that you would take to get back?
If I started from zero tomorrow, I would make sure that I didn't waste a bunch of weeks and honestly like years doubting myself because when you think about it, I feel like nobody really cares enough to judge you, especially if you just want to like come on and just like be yourself. Like there's going to be some people, but I feel like for the majority, no one really minds. And it's interesting to like find out about new people and how they are. So I feel like I wouldn't waste time on second guessing myself and I would just the second that I start making content, I would keep on going. It's harder with the algorithms to do well on social media sometimes when you take those breaks. So I would just feel like having a plan and showing up as often as you can.
Yeah, I think the point that you brought up in the beginning is something that really resonates with me because one of my sayings or like my personal mottos is nobody cares about you more than they care about themselves.
Yeah.
So, as much as you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, what do they think about me? Did they notice I mispronounced this word? Did they notice I tripped? The other person is thinking the same thing. They're thinking, did they notice I spilled something on my shirt? Did they notice I called them the wrong name? Everybody is more focused on themselves than they are on you or thinking about the mistakes that you made. And that's like a really liberating and freeing thought process to have because then you realize, oh, like I can really just be myself because everybody else is more concerned with themselves than they are with me. Like, why would
Exactly.
anybody really be pressed about a mistake that I made or the fact that I didn't wear makeup or anything like that?
Yeah.
So, we've started to talk a little bit about advice. I'd love to know a bit about a piece of advice that you'd give to someone who's afraid to start creating.
Afraid to start, honestly, just start. I feel like everybody says that, but literally just start because when I first started when I was 16, I literally had no idea that you could even make a career out of it. I didn't think that I would have all of these opportunities from it. So, like a lot of people say, it's like a lottery ticket every time that you post, and it really is. You don't know who you're gonna meet, and there's no downside to posting on social media. No matter what, you're gonna reach an audience that you probably wouldn't have without posting. So I feel like it's a win-win. Yeah.
That's so interesting. Have you interacted or been put in front of an audience or groups of people that you weren't expecting and been able to like, I don't know, like build community from that? Like,
Yeah. No, literally my whole entire audience cuz in my head and also growing up in my small town, I was the most like outgoing person that I knew. Same thing with my ADHD. So when I obviously got like 6 million followers of people that were just as crazy as me, I was like, "Wait, there's like we exist." So I feel like there's community for everybody. Yeah.
absolutely. And so you're from Indianapolis or
Yeah.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. So do you think that growing up in a small town influenced how you show up online?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it did. Also, I'm first generation Ghanaian, so I rep Ghana a little bit more than Indiana. But being a first generation Ghanaian living in a small town in a predominantly white area was literally so difficult, especially having parents that didn't understand how to work with my ADHD. So I felt alone all like growing up until I was like 17. So I feel like that definitely like shifted my mindset, and that also gave me like the mindset of, screw it. Like, why not? Because I've already felt so low a lot of my life. So why not just do it all? I have nothing to lose, type thing. Yeah.
No, I absolutely love that. So okay, hopefully we can keep going and that's done.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
but so you've mentioned your ADHD a
Yeah.
bit throughout the conversation. So as somebody with ADHD, how have you learned to work with your brain instead of working against it whilst creating content?
I feel like I used to think ADHD was a bad thing, but I seriously love it so much because I don't feel like I could do what I do without having ADHD. I can literally juggle like six different things at once. I have two phones. I'm using my iPad and my laptop to watch this. It's just so fun to just use like all parts of my brain at the same time. So I feel like, yeah, just allowing yourself to just be how you are naturally, how, God made you. So yeah, that's just I just lean into it fully. Honestly, I just lean into it, and just I do have to do a lot of planning and writing down, and I use my calendar, and like my team really helps me out with like my schedule and everything. But just being organized the best that I can really really helps. But I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I'm super organized because I'm really not. Yeah.
No, I'm the same way. I'm like the more multitasking I can do,
Yeah.
the better. It's like podcasts on, music playing, documentary playing, all while I'm trying to work. Like I need to have like a whole ecosystem of sounds, stimulation, just stuff going on at all times. And honestly, it's the best because you get to like learn things. Oh, you could do. There's so much you could do when you're using your whole brain, like you said. Like there's so much you could do. So we've talked a little bit about sticking to what you've got. We've talked about how you stick to an idea, the times that you might want to think about pivoting, how to show up as yourself. So, how do you know when to stick with an idea versus when to pivot and try something new?
I always tell myself that if you don't try something for 6 months, you can't really say that you've tried it. So, I mean, still to this day, I have times where my posts won't do the best. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to stop posting this certain niche. But it's like, okay, if you haven't applied it for at least 6 months, you can't really say that it doesn't work because usually after the first few times, something will pick up. So, my best advice is just keep on trying until you've truly, truly exhausted it. Because if I had stopped for little series or little trends that I did, I wouldn't be where I am today. Yeah.
Is there anything specific that you've known before you posted, oh, this is going to go viral?
Yeah, honestly, I do. Anything, so my initial viral videos, anything in that sector of like lip syncing to the camera and like being really a character with my facial expressions, I know will do well. Everything else is a toss up. And I feel like a lot of other creators can agree with this. You never know what's going to do well. So it's just an every week thing. You just figure out what am I going to post. Sometimes it's like, dang, like I wake up and I'm like, I have no idea what to post, but then something comes to my mind and it's really satisfying.
I'd love to also know, have you ever tried to post something that you know is for like a hyper specific niche and
Yeah.
just post for the love of the game and not really
Yeah.
look for the
A
reward?
lot of the stuff that I posted for the love of the game,
Yeah.
like half the time, I'm not even sure my followers will like it, but I'm like, I rock with this, so I really like it. Um, but I feel like I'm just so lucky to have a community that really just accepts and like receives all the things that I post, and I don't really ever feel self conscious anymore at all. So I feel like I lucked out.
No, that's amazing. And I
Yeah.
guess also because you are somebody who is so like confident in yourself and
Yeah.
how you express yourself, it comes off to the audience and the community and they're really there for you. No
Hmm.
matter what the niche is or how popular the content or the concept is,
Yeah.
like they're just there because you're the niche, right? Like they're there
Right.
to just like see you.
Yeah.
I'd also love to know, you spoke a little bit about being first generation.
Yeah.
I'd love to know if that influenced your career path as a content creator or even your beauty experience and identity?
Yeah, that did play a part in why I took my hiatus because obviously, like, having parents that came from, jobs that are like, a certain type of job, I had this expectation to, be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. And so while I was posting, I always felt like this guilt because my parents really didn't, they didn't really vibe with what I was doing when I was younger. Up until the first few paychecks came, and then they're like, okay, wait, maybe we can get into this. But I feel like it just kind of stalled me from doing what I wanted for a bit. But after I graduated and I found my own way, I figured that I was like, just let me just do it because it is my life. But now they're so super super supportive. Like my mom's like my biggest supporter. Yeah.
I love that.
Mhm.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
I'd also love to talk a little bit about like the actual content creation
Yeah.
because yesterday we did another conversation called Creators Lane and we talked a lot about consistency as a
Mhm.
content creator and why that is something that is so
Yeah.
important and really being able to like learn and understand your audience.
Mhm.
What is when you're posting,
Mhm.
how do you think about the audience? Do you think about the audience that's consuming the content or do
Mhm.
you think about how you want to position or showcase something? Like, what's the
Mhm.
thought process and how you are filming and then posting and editing?
So I usually have an idea, like I brainstorm, and a lot of my ideas come to me like right before I'm asleep. Like I'm half asleep, and then something will come to me, and I'm like, okay, let me remember this for the next day. And most of the time, it's super weird. It's like with the weird sound that's not really trending, but I just do it anyway. Um, wait,
Oh, yeah, yeah. If you could talk a little bit about the process and how you are developing and creating the content, like, how are you
yeah.
choosing, what music to play or where to stand, the video, the lighting? Is that based on the audience? Is it just like sheer randomness? Is
Right.
it?
I feel like it's really important now that I am a brand and I do brand deals that I have a really like I have to refine my my content. So I can't really like post something with like the front facing camera or I can't post something that's blurry. So although I still have fun in my videos, I still make sure that it's brand friendly enough that a brand will look at my page and be like, okay, this is aesthetic enough that she can align with what we're doing. So I feel like it's just like a mix of staying to yourself, but also since you want to be taken seriously, refining your content and cleaning it up a little bit. And also, of course, my biggest audience is Gen Z. So making sure that I try to stay brand friendly, not cursing too much, not doing too many things that are controversial. Just those little things that I just keep in the back of my mind when I'm on live, interacting with my followers, anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's something that's so important because I love TikTok,
Yeah.
love social media, but sometimes I'm like, what I post does not look like what influencers or people who like actually do this as a job post. Can you talk a little bit about why that is something that's so important and the aspects of content creation that a lot of people don't understand and don't see?
Yeah, I feel like the last thing that I think about when it comes to social media is actually pressing posts. Like it's literally everything else. It's planning. Okay, when I have my partnerships, when am I gonna post this video so that it doesn't clash with this video? And I want to make sure also that my audience and I have that trust together. So it's like, okay, does she actually use this product or is she just doing? So I've actually turned down a few brand deals because it just doesn't align with me and it doesn't align with my community. But it's just about finding whatever works for you, honestly. And it's okay that your videos don't look like certain people's because I can say the same thing. Like my videos don't look like certain people's videos, but it's true to you. And I feel like that's what is most important, and that's what makes everyone unique, and that's what gets followers uniqueness. Yeah.
So, everybody I'm sure is already aware of Abba and follows her on TikTok. Abba, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience? Any exciting things, anything you want them to follow up on?
I don't know. I feel like something crazy, like or something weird, happens every week. So I don't know. You just have to follow to stay tuned, I guess.
Yes. So make sure you follow Abba Asante. Abba, is there anything else you'd like to share?
That's it. Thank you guys so much.
Amazing. Thank
Hope
you
you
guys
enjoyed
so much.
it.
I hope you enjoyed our full day of programming on the BeautyCon stage. And thank you, Abba.